Hi, welcome back to Million Mile Millie. This week was a short one. We ended up doing a 34 while we still had 36 hours left on our combined clocks. Could have made it halfway back across the state or the country easily. Didn't do any cooking videos, but I did do some cooking. We had a white pizza with fabulous grilled onions and sausage on top, topped with some goat cheese. Really hit the spot. And it's another quick and easy meal. Can't argue with that. So our week started in Florida, and we had our first load going to Laredo. Well, here we are in Laredo. Haven't been here for a long time, probably since before COVID hit. It's the first time we've been back down this part of the country. We were very surprised when we got down here. We ended up in a massive traffic jam. You would have thought we were in Los Angeles or Atlanta or something. But that's what happens when hundreds and hundreds of trucks all converge on the same location and all want to park in the same vicinity or make their deliveries and pickups in the same vicinity. And there's only one or two roads in and out of that area. Made for a real mess. Once we made it to our destination, it was a small little super compact yard completely full of trucks and trailers, so parking was interesting, and of course they didn't have an empty, so empty hunt was our next priority. Typically, if you're going to Laredo, you're taking a load that's going to be going across the Mexico border, or you're picking up a load that just came across the border the other direction. So when you do that, there's extra steps you have to take. You gotta stop and have your trailer inspected and get a special form filled out so that it will be able to cross the border. Look at that. You can see it's turning into a big mess. And you can bet those trucks didn't want us moving in front of them since they're waiting in the same line we need to be in, everybody wanting to turn right because, you know, if you turn left, you go across the border. See that bridge up there? Yeah, it's pretty high, pretty narrow, and pretty scary. I'll show you when we go back out of here what it looks like. But during my first week as a truck driver, we came down to Laredo, and I got to drive over the really big, super high, curvy bridge down there. It's only one lane wide, so it just, when you're sitting so high in the truck, it just feels like you could go off either side so easily. This girl that's a little afraid of heights actually held her breath as she drove over it the first time. It was scary. But this time, it didn't really bother me. And this video doesn't even begin to capture the actual sensation of being so high up in the... See, we're almost there, coming up. See how little teeny tiny those trucks are down there? Yeah, that's how high you are. Look at that little truck, you can hardly see it. It's like an ant. I guess you gotta do it to really experience it, but oh my... Whoever designed this road, I need to have a talk with them. One lane wide has a very different sensation than 2 or 3 lanes. I know it's sunny down here in Laredo, but most of the entire week we spent under a cloud and started calling Millie Eeyore. She wasn't sure what that meant, but you know, Eeyore just mopes around under a cloud all day, all week. We were really surprised after we got our load here and headed to LA as we passed through Arizona. Could not believe what we saw there. Did you guess rain? Oh yeah, the trip was full of rain. I think the whole country is getting doused in rain right now. If you've been watching the news, you've seen all of the flooding. Vegas, Texas, Arizona, everywhere, just massive floods going on. But with that, look at this. I couldn't believe it. Arizona is green. This is not what southern Arizona looks like. It's green everywhere. Never seen it so green. I couldn't believe. If I had woke up and didn't know where we were supposed to be and I looked out the window and saw this, I would have been sure Mark was off route. Fortunately, we didn't run into any flash flood issues. No roads washed out, at least not the ones we were on. Thank goodness for small miracles. Still amazing. don't know how long it will last, and if the next time we drive through this area will look anything remotely like this, but I had to take it in. It was beautiful. I would be okay if Arizona permanently looked like this. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I'm thinking this is what it looks like maybe in Ireland or Scotland or something with all this green. I know they don't have cacti or cactus there. But green, this is not Arizona. Usually looks like this. Oh, except for this picture is Idaho. But this is the color that you usually see in Arizona. Okay, take that back. I have seen this color in Arizona in my front yard the week after monsoon season, and it's, knee-high weeds everywhere because they grow so incredibly fast. So I'm guessing we need to call a landscaper for our house real soon. It's getting too green there. So, of all the meals I made this week, I also made another pizza. Yeah, Mark got spoiled big time. Only this, it was a Chicago deep dish pizza, and I just layered it all up in some pizza dough I bought at the grocery store already made. Yeah, call me lazy this week. Yes, I have been lazy. But it hit the spot again. Mark got us just outside of LA at about 5 p.m. Yeah, rush hour. Our load had a window on it, so it didn't have to be delivered immediately, and our next load didn't pick up till midnight down near Long Beach. So we just parked for a bit, hung out for about 4 hours, and at 9 o'clock I headed us in, avoiding all that wretched traffic. As I said, we were under rain most of the trip. This is Texas, back on the I-20 this time instead of the 10. I'm doing my 30-minute break, and this is something I see very often during my midnight breaks. And let me tell you, when I see it, I just cringe because it means there will be no way I'm using the restroom or purchasing anything. The lines get really long, especially if there's more than one bus in the parking lot. Sometimes I can see up to 3 to 5 buses caravanning together around the country. So I'll just sit here in my truck for my 30-minute break this time. Maybe I'll find a 30-minute break someplace else where I can actually use the facilities. Things went smoothly for the rest of our week, except for, this. Our brand new drive tires. One of them ended up with a flat. I mean, look at the size of that chunk of metal that went into our tire, totally ruining it. They couldn't fix it and save it. And look how much tread we had left. These are brand freaking new tires. Oh, it was so upsetting. Not to mention the time sitting and waiting for it to be fixed. Big shout out and thank you to all the diesel repair shops and trucks out there keeping us on the road. Thank you. Nothing would be worse than sitting for days because of this. So this is something I make as a little snack. Just a cheese crisp with green chilies. Occasionally you just get hungry and need something. I've been talking to a lot of the truckers all around the country, and they all agree food has become a nightmare since COVID as a trucker. Our only options are fast food, and no one can live on that. No one, especially when you have to go in and have a DOT physical every year or every other year to keep your license. How is a trucker supposed to stay healthy when the only option he has available is fast food? The restaurants, the little cute diners that they used to have, are all closed down. Very few of them reopened. No salad bars, no buffets with all you can eat grilled and steamed vegetables. When you do find a restaurant that your truck can fit next to, you cross your fingers and hope and pray that the food is going to be palatable and you'll actually be able to eat it. I have to say there have been a number of times I've left my plate behind nearly full because it was just so bad. I do not know what has happened since BC, before COVID. Everything changed in such a dramatic way. It's unbelievable. But the food at restaurants is one area that I just can't wrap my head around. Like, I understand there's an employee shortage, so we're patient when we have to wait. And then I'm guessing they're having a lot of hard difficulty, getting the product they need in. The menus have certainly shrunk way down. A lot of places have gone from a 3-page fold-out menu to a 1-page little piece of paper. I mean, the food's bad, and I'm going to say 85% of the time the service is kind of rotten as well. We are so thankful the days we get good service and actually enjoy our meal, but it is such a rare happening out here these days. Totally not alone in thinking that. I haven't spoke to a trucker yet that hasn't agreed that something dreadful has happened to food. Okay, enough food tantrums. So I'm not going to even tell you how many miles we did this week because it wasn't a very good week considering sitting around in California and then stopping 36 hours early. But I will tell you, we know how many miles we are capable of running, and we've only done it once. During July of 2020, we didn't have any home time, and Millie didn't have to go in for maintenance because during COVID, instead of going in every 25,000 miles for a maintenance, they extended it to every 50,000 miles just because they were shorthand and short on product as well. So we had July with no shutdowns, no time off other than our 34-hour breaks. And those 34-hour breaks, because there was nothing to do out on the road, nothing to enjoy, no reason to even get out of our truck, we just did 22-hour breaks. How do you make 34-hour break into a 22-hour break? Well, as a team, one of us has already been off duty for 12 hours while the other one finished just driving us into wherever we're stopping for our break. So that person only needs 22 more hours before they are legally at their 34 and can start running again. So that month we did 34,000 miles in that 1 month. So we know we're capable of it. We know what kind of miles we can get in a month. So on the months where we're just barely hitting 20 and 21,000, we know we did a lot of sitting, even if it's 5 hours here and 12 hours here and 22 hours there, which is what happened in just outside of Atlanta when we dropped this load off in Florida. They didn't have another load for us until the next day, and they wanted us to pick it up at 4 p.m., which was 2 hours before I would reach my 34-hour break and recap my 70 hours back on my clock. We told them we would take the load as long as we have permission to pick it up late, and they said that was fine as long as it's delivered on time. So we both got another 70 in, and we're starting with a fresh clock, and hopefully this next 7-day period is going to be more productive. We did find time to put our flags on and our emergency stickers, and then we just sat, did our dishes, and showered. That's pretty much it, because there was nothing to do, nothing around us. It was not a planned stop, so it kind of sucked. But back on the road we are, and thank you for riding with us. We'll see you again soon. Bye.